Southern gospel music has given us some of the most unforgettable voices, men and women whose faith and talent shaped the very heart of Christian music. Many of them never studied in grand music conservatories or received formal degrees. Yet their wisdom, skill, and anointing came through life itself, through singing schools, long roads, and years of ministry. Today, we look at the educational journeys and early musical paths of some of our beloved Gaither Homecoming legends, whose dedication to God's calling left a legacy that still inspires the world. Hess. Hess had a humble beginning. He had limited formal education, but never allowed that to define him. While traveling early in his career, he completed his high school degree by correspondence. He began singing at just 5 years old and learned most of his music through experience, not from textbooks, but from the people and places that surrounded him. At age 14, Jake joined his first formal group, the Haleyville Melody Boys. Just 2 years later, at 16, he left home to join the well-known John Daniel Quartet, where he would begin shaping his unique vocal style that would influence generations. Jake was also heavily influenced by his father, a shape notes singing school teacher, a tradition deeply rooted in Southern gospel. Though he never earned a formal music degree, Jake's practical education on the road made him one of the most respected and innovative figures in gospel music. His extraordinary talent brought him 4 Grammy Awards and a place in the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Jake Hess truly proved that God's calling is greater than any diploma. Younce, another homecoming favorite, also didn't attend university for music. Instead, he received his musical training at the Stamps-Baxter School of Music, a place where countless gospel legends began. As a teenager, George's father believed in his gift so deeply that he borrowed money to send him to the Stamps-Baxter Singing School. There, George learned to read music through the shape note system, a teaching method that became the foundation for Southern gospel harmony. Over the years, George's booming bass voice and joyful personality made him one of the genre's most beloved singers. In 1998, his lifelong dedication earned him induction into the Southern Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame, a lasting testament to a man who learned by heart, by ear, and by the Spirit. Glen Payne. Glen Payne's musical story began in a small town in Texas. At just 12 years old, his grandmother saw his potential and secured him a scholarship to attend the Stamps Singing School in Oak Cliff. He attended that summer program for 4 consecutive years, where he learned the essentials of music theory, harmony, and the famous shape note singing system. By age 17, Glen was already singing professionally with the Stamps-Baxter Quartet, and in time, he would co-found the legendary Cathedral Quartet, becoming one of the most respected lead singers in Southern gospel history. Glen Payne's formal education may have been short, but his heart for excellence and his years of practical learning shaped a career that continues to inspire singers today. Hovie Lister. Hovie Lister's name is synonymous with class and passion in gospel music. After finishing high school, he attended the Stamps-Baxter School of Music in Dallas, Texas, which equipped him to launch a career that would change the landscape of quartet music. By age 6, Hovie was already learning piano, and by his early teens, he was accompanying groups and leading worship. He later became an ordained Southern Baptist minister and pastored Mount Zion Baptist Church in Georgia. Though he didn't hold a formal college degree, Hovie's blend of musical brilliance and spiritual leadership made him a cornerstone of gospel history, both as the founder of the Statesman Quartet and as one of the most charismatic performers the genre has ever known. Speer. Speer was more than a singer. He was a teacher, director, and visionary. He graduated from Trevecca Nazarene University in 1954 with a bachelor's degree in theology. Later, in 1997, Trevecca awarded him an honorary Doctor of Music degree for his lifelong contribution to gospel music. Though his degree wasn't in music, Ben's education came from his family. His father, Dad Speer, taught singing schools and shape note theory, lessons Ben carried with him throughout life. In 1986, Ben founded the Stamps-Baxter School of Music, where he trained generations of gospel singers in theory, harmony, and songwriting. His dedication as music director for the Gaither Homecoming series helped preserve and expand the beauty of gospel harmony for a new generation. Vestal Goodman, the queen of gospel music, dreamed of singing at the Metropolitan Opera. She began studying voice at age 13, preparing for a future in classical performance. But God had other plans. Instead of pursuing formal conservatory training, Vestal followed a spiritual calling to gospel music. Her true education came from singing in church, growing up in revival meetings, and performing with her family group, the Happy Goodman family. Though she never earned a formal degree, Vestal's power, emotion, and sincerity made her one of the most beloved singers in gospel history. Her mantle of ministry earned her Grammy Awards, Dove Awards, and induction into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Her education was not academic, it was divine. Howard Goodman, Vestal's husband and musical partner, was a gifted pianist, singer, and preacher. He didn't hold a college degree, but his education came from singing schools and mentorship under Professor Paul Collins of the Vaughn Music Company. Howard started piano lessons at age 10, and his natural leadership helped shape the sound of the Happy Goodman family. He combined his love of gospel music with his ministry as a Pentecostal preacher, traveling the nation spreading faith through music. In 1998, Howard was honored with induction into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame, leaving a powerful legacy of both song and spirit. Speer, another member of the legendary Speer family, pursued formal education more than most of his peers. He earned a bachelor's degree in theology from Trevecca, a Nazarene University, in 1950, and later a Master of Divinity from Vanderbilt University. In 1997, Trevecca also awarded him an honorary Doctor of Music degree, recognizing his lifelong dedication to the ministry of music. Though his degrees were in theology, Brock's heart and heritage were in gospel music. He learned shape note, singing at a young age, and used his theological wisdom to guide the Speer family's ministry with excellence, humility, and faith. James Blackwood, known affectionately as Mr. Gospel Music, didn't begin with much. As a teenager, he and his brother wanted to attend a singing school but couldn't afford the $3 tuition until their mother sold chickens to pay the fee. That simple sacrifice launched a lifelong calling. James never attended a university for formal degrees, but later received honorary doctorates, including a Doctor of Music from Golden State University, 1983, and a Distinguished Achievement Award from Memphis State University, 1986. He co-founded the Blackwood Brothers Quartet in 1934 and became a towering figure in gospel history. His legacy reminds us that sometimes the greatest lessons come from humble beginnings. J.D. Sumner. J.D. Sumner's voice was as deep as his devotion. Born in 1924, he grew up on his father's farm in Florida and dreamed of singing gospel music after hearing Frank Stamps at age 4. Sumner never studied at a conservatory. His education came from life itself. After serving in World War II, he began singing professionally with the Sunny South Quartet and later the Blackwood Brothers before forming J.D. Sumner and the Stamps Quartet. A self-taught singer, songwriter, and businessman, Sumner wrote over 700 songs, co-founded the Gospel Music Association, and even introduced the idea of the customized tour bus for gospel groups. He didn't have a degree. He had drive, vision, and an unshakable purpose. Rex Nelon. Rex Nelon's journey began in his youth, attending weekly singing classes where he learned to read shape note music and trained his ear to sing bass. There's no record of formal college education, but his talent quickly made him a standout. At 14, he won a local singing contest, which opened doors to sing with regional groups. In 1955, he joined the Homeland Harmony Quartet and later the Lefevres before forming the Rex Nelon Singers, which would eventually become the Nelons. Rex was not just a singer. He was a mentor, a publisher, and an industry leader, owning several music catalogs and championing the next generation of artists. He was inducted into both the Gospel Music Hall of Fame and the Southern Gospel Museum and Hall of Fame. Les Beasley, the longtime leader of the Florida Boys Quartet, graduated from Louisiana State University, LSU, though his specific field of study isn't widely documented. He grew up singing in his father's church and developed his musical skills through years of performing and leading. While he didn't earn a formal music degree, his education came from a lifetime of service to gospel music as a performer, manager, and industry pioneer. Les was instrumental in developing gospel music television, served as president of the National Quartet Convention, and helped establish the Dove Awards through his work with the Gospel Music Association. His legacy is one of leadership, faith, and a love for harmony that never faded. As we remember these Gaither Homecoming legends, one thing becomes clear: God doesn't always call the qualified, but He always qualifies the called. Their education wasn't always formal, but their training was divine. Their teachers were faith, perseverance, and the Spirit of God Himself. Though many of them have gone home to be with the Lord, their songs still echo in our hearts. Their legacy continues to inspire new generations to sing with conviction, to believe in their calling, and to trust that with God, every note matters. Their music remains. Their influence endures. Their voices still speak. There are many more stories to share in the days ahead. Many more voices that shaped gospel music and continue to bless hearts around the world. So stay tuned, friends, and may the faith and music of these legends keep reminding you that the greatest degree you can ever earn is a heart fully devoted to God. Thank you for watching. God bless you all.